All right, let's call the meeting to order. Ms. Holtzclaw, will you do the attendance roll call?
Yes, hi, good morning, everybody. District ESC Advisory Committee, Kimberly Spire O. Coalition for Black Student Achievement, Dr. Deborah Robinson.
Present, good morning.
Good morning. Palm Beach County Council of PTAs, Marcus Brown. I know Marcus was there. Guatemalan Maya Center, Mariana Blanco. She told me she would not be able to make this meeting. And Palm Beach County Council of PTAs, Dr. Cassandra Corbin-Thaddeus.
I'm present.
Okay, and we have a guest today. We have Vanessa Jean-Baptiste from Task Tactics.
Yes.
And she's going to listen in today.
I'm sorry, from where?
Task Tactics.
Oh, okay.
Let me call for public comment. Ms. Jean-Baptiste, you wanna say anything?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. Like I believe Susan mentioned, my name is Vanessa Jean-Baptiste. I am a project manager. I'm here to figure out ways to partner up with Palm Beach School District. My project management firm is called Task Tactics, so that's what I'm representing today. I believe I'm kind of in the wrong meeting. I should come to the next one. It's a subcommittee meeting, so I'm just sitting in to just hear what's going on.
You'll be back next week.
I'll be back next week.
There will be a subcommittee meeting at 8:30 next week, and then the bigger meeting is at 10.
At 10,
And
okay.
it should be next door in the boardroom.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, would you spell the name? I just trying to make sure I'm hearing properly.
Task Tactics.
Yeah,
right?
so it's TASKTACTIX.
Okay. Thank you. I heard correctly. Thank you.
No worries.
Okay, any other public comment? Okay, all right, let's move on to the discussion, determination of action items and assignments. Do you have, I'm not on the computer. Like, I'm not logged in.
Oh, okay, let me see. Let's see if I can pull them up there.
The list of, remember you guys did the list? You put it in the list? The list.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So once you pull that up, you know how to,
I know, I loaded, I just need to, I can't get it.
on the thing.
Tab.
So once you open it in a tab, go to where you are in the meeting.
But I can't get back to it. I opened it
All right.
twice.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
I can't get back.
Yeah, okay. This is on a different tab. Is it? Should be. Okay.
Got it?
But thank you. You know, I would call help.
Knock on the wall.
Help. All right.
Okay. to be able to move through it.
Yeah, you should be
Okay.
able to.
That's easy. Okay,
Did you share that with, the people?
that's not true.
No, did you share it, the document? With the
I
committee.
emailed it to them,
Okay.
and I also attached it to the calendar invite.
Okay, so everyone should have this.
Yeah.
The determination of action items and assignments, organizing it into, sections, which is what you guys did the last time, for the last meeting, Am I right?
Right.
Okay,
No, we didn't. Let me clarify. We had some conversation, but this list is a product of my imagination.
Yeah, Dr. Robinson sent this after from the sticky notes.
oh, okay, so this is the sticky notes into a list instead of, a Jamboard.
Right. So what I did was prior to the last ad hoc meeting, I watched Dr. Thaddeus Corbin's presentation to DDEC again, just so I could try to be a better participant, right? And then, so what I did afterwards was I took the 4 major categories or components that she discussed in her presentation, and then tried to take everything in the Jamboard and put it there. I realize it's different than we were organizing it before. So this is me trying to process all those sticky notes for myself. So like you guys could throw it away if you want, but I'm just hoping we'll bring this in for a landing today.
Right. Last time we were taking all of the sticky notes and seeing if they fell within our mission, which was belonging, trust, connection, and content. And getting rid of anything that didn't, if I recall correctly. And now you took it the next step and tried to organize it a little better how you see it, which is fine because your grasp of everything is excellent. So, is there a link?
So what's the next step in this process?
We would like to make recommendations would be like the ultimate step. Whether we can jump from where we are to there today, I'm not sure, but yeah, I can.
So, number 3 is the discussion, determination of action items and assignments. So, looking through the list, did we determine that these are in the correct categories?
Can I correct myself? I think this,
Or is this just
this was putting it in the categories. I'm sorry?
It's just a text list, right?
Yeah, I'm just see, this is what happens when I don't review before the meeting. So I think we did start doing this in the meeting, but I had to finish it for my own self, if that's proper grammar, afterwards. But I see that while I have the categories at the top, it looks like I tried to do it, categorize it, maybe something to do with the strategic plan. So I'm just trying to correct myself. I think I gave you bad information.
So it looks like this is, okay, so it looks like the major categories are at the top, just me looking at the document.
Right.
And then each of the slides that we named, media campaign, research and data, student focused culture, PD, business community collaboration, life skills and wellness, that what's underneath it are the stickies that are on each of those. So what we need to do is move this information to the 4 categories, right? Is that the determination? No?
Well, that's one possible step, but our ultimate goal is to come up with recommendations on how we increase belonging. And last meeting, we also discussed how some of the things that were on the stickies didn't relate to currently successful Black male students that we were kind of going out beyond and how to create successful Black male students out of students who had not yet been, either because they're just starting school or because of whatever. Anyway, we were trying to get rid of anything that wasn't our focus, which is successful Black male students. And then our goal is to get to recommendations as to how to increase belonging, how to increase trust, how to increase connection, and how to create content that will help support them. And I don't think we got through the sticky list before, and we probably should. And I was working off the stickies before. Does Dr. Robinson, does this include all of the subject matter of all the stickies, or do we still need to go and look and make sure we don't drop anything?
I believe it includes everything, and because you see it's a huge parking lot at the end, right?
Okay. Then
What's the parking lot at the end?
It's probably stuff I couldn't figure out right there where it goes. I don't know. Or I didn't understand exactly what people meant by it.
Okay. Was it already under a topic on the Jam board?
Probably.
right, I think we were kind of tearing apart what we'd already done and trying to organize it to be more useful to us and what we were trying to accomplish. And I know that we didn't get all the way through at our last meeting.
Okay, so what's the next step? What are we doing today?
Can I propose that we just jump into it?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Let's go.
So the first thing is, I think that as part of our recommendations to DDEC, we suggest that the school district consciously and intentionally works to ensure that successful Black male students feel that they belong, have trust, are connected, and that the content that they're exposed to is relevant. I mean, I think we need to start coming to some statements, and and we could debate the statements and then get to the point that we recommend something. So that's my first one, if that is a sentence.
Thoughts, input?
I'm writing it down. And intentionally. Promote. Dr. Corbin, I know you weren't there, or Dr. Thaddeus. I know you weren't at the last meeting, but how do you feel about these ideas to proceed? Or do you have some other idea or like a different way you think we should do it?
I was just listening to Dr. Robinson, and I'm thinking that although like I appreciate the one statement, I do feel like each of the areas should stand alone, because there's deeper work in each of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I know there might be too much, but I just don't want to lose the fact that there's deeper work in connection. And maybe the recommendation is just choosing one of the areas. Connection is the one that I would think about first, but we could start anywhere that the committee chooses. But it may be that we take one, and then the recommendation is to like really go deep in terms of what that means and how to create that for our students.
So that was just like the opening paragraph. That wasn't, because the rest of it would go deeper. I'm good if you want to just dig deep in one.
So I think if we want to, we can use that statement, and then like maybe a recommendation is that you choose one.
Okay. Okay with me, Marcus?
I agree that we should definitely go in the direction of coming up with a statement that, that puts us in the direction of what we want to propose to the board. I'm thinking along the same lines.
I wish I had the Jamboard in front of me.
Sorry, I did have a question. Would it be feasible to make the recommendation in stages, or do we have to do it all at once? Because this is quite a bit of material that we put together and categorized with all of these sticky notes. Is it possible to stagger the recommendation, or
I don't see a problem with that.
How does the rest of the committee feel about that? And the only reason I'm asking is because we want to obviously show some progress or make some progress. And this is not a one and done conversation.
I agree.
Yeah, I like that idea as well.
So I guess we'll just pick the one that stands out to us the most, start from there. Or create a statement.
Right.
I believe that's what Dr. Robinson was doing. If we can just pick, encapsulate or come together with one main or the first thought, and summarize that, and then move forward with our recommendation. And that will be the first of, and we can make note of that. This will be the first of many. And of course, obviously we can base it off of the material that we received, from the research that's already been done. I think that alone should say that this is not going to be a one recommendation type of situation.
Right. I am looking. I have trouble reading on the screen. Is it possible to get the document from Dr. Robinson? And if you've sent it already, I apologize. I was without power for a week. The document, and I'll print it out and I can look at it better.
It's attached to the calendar invite.
Okay, why am I not seeing that?
And Susan emailed it out.
Right. I thought it might be. Let me look again. Sometimes I don't see what's right in front of my face. Okay.
So while Kimberly's looking, I want to just throw in a comment. So I don't disagree with anything that's been said, but are we ever going to end this ad hoc committee? Because we now and it's important work, but it just in my magical way of thinking, we would get some recommendations down, right? They would get presented to DDEC. DDC hopefully will embrace them and make it part of DDEC's recommendation to the school district. Then we would have to get into, okay, what's the follow through on those things, right? So however we said, for example, we want to increase connectedness, okay? I think that at some point, in my experience in dealing with, I'm gonna say bureaucrats, you have to tell them the how that you're thinking, right? You can't leave it to their own devices because they'll process it in the usual way of thinking. What we're trying to do is change mindsets, right? So, but then at some point, after the recommendations are hopefully adopted, we would want to circle back and see if it's being implemented, right? And that would be, in my mind, a progress report that will be presented to DDEC, however, whatever frequency, right? But at some point in time, I just want us. I know this sounds really messed up, but I want us to be done.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
we got to bring it in for a landing, and I'm saying that while I'm understanding what everybody's saying about the almost like phases of recommendation. I do understand that, but at some point, when are we going to be done? I mean,
I
an ad
think
hoc
we'll be
committee is
done.
supposed to have a beginning and an end and a purpose, right? We
Yes.
keep extending our end, and we could always go back and revisit it. I think, but I don't know. I'm personally very frustrated at this point. Partially frustrated with me, because I haven't been as attentive as I would have expected myself to be. But we got to make some recommendations, and I'm gonna quit talking and listen.
So with the proposed end, would it end when there's follow through, or would it end when there's recommendation made? Because to your point, you just stated we make a recommendation to the board, and there has to be someone to make sure that it follows through, or that it gets followed through. Otherwise, it's just going to go in one ear and out the other.
So one way to
So
do that is our work quote ends with the recommendation as an ad hoc committee, right? But then the monitoring could be like an agenda item on the DDC agenda, right?
Yeah,
If
I like that.
DDEC embraces it, the monitoring of it can become part of the DDEC agenda.
I like that. I think it fits within what our framework is. We make recommendations, the DDEC discusses them and decides what how to proceed, what exact recommendations to make, and then the DDEC follows up on it. And if there needs to be additional research or whatever, they send us back out. But we would be done with this stage of it. We would be done unless DDEC decides we need to go back out. So that makes sense.
Okay,
sure, that makes sense. Sure, that makes sense in understanding how the inner workings of these types of committees work. My thinking is that we just need to make sure that there's follow through. And if the ad hoc committee needs to stick around for that, then I'm all for it. But if the DDEC embraces it, then I'm fine with getting done with our recommendation and moving on. It makes sense that we need to land the plane, but if the plane is not ready to land, we need to keep flying it.
Right.
So I recommend. I mean, we can certainly come up with a statement and make the recommendation and find out what objections the DDEC may have, which I can't think of any, to enforce the recommendation that would be made to the board. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm fine either way. I'm just grateful that we're even talking about this, to be honest with you, and actually in a position to do something about it. So I do agree we do need to make that progress. I just don't want it to go off into cyberspace. and do nothing.
Go ahead.
Dr. Robinson has her hand.
Go ahead, Dr. Robinson.
Okay, thank you. So Marcus, please, I'm going to assign you to be the lead person to make sure that we don't let it fall by the wayside. But I mean, I agree with you. It's all kind of stuff in the school district collecting dust, right? But okay, so I want to offer something else because this seems to me to be low hanging fruit. So I'm getting ready to try to craft a statement and see if it works. That we recommend that the school district have an aggressive media campaign regarding successful Black male students. The audience, the targeted audience will include school and district staff as well as community. The media campaign shall include messages from successful Black male students, including what they wanted their teachers and others to know and understand, what an inclusive classroom looks like to them, as well as their success stories. Period. Now that's long, but I think that a media campaign like that, that's low hanging fruit for the school district. Like we have to monitor it and make sure that it's what we mean when we say those things. But I mean, I think that that's something that they could just start nodding their heads to, is my point. And we could get to things that they would find more challenging later.
Agreed. Yeah, and that sentence, by the way, wasn't long.
Okay.
It encapsulated everything that the ad hoc committee was commissioned to do, and it encapsulates what I believe the recommendation should be. So, and I could actually use that statement to promote follow through. If I'm going to be the one following through, I can stand behind that statement and push it.
I was trying to take notes. What they want teachers to know. What were the other two?
Child, I don't know. I just took it out of my notes
I know.
from the media campaign.
Okay.
So the themes were making sure that it's understood what the successful Black male students want, of the message that they want to give the teachers as far as what they need to feel or how they need to feel included. I believe it was mentioned their testimonies of success.
I'm going to type it up and then I can read it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm handwriting. Okay, what they want the teachers to know, what inclusive classrooms look like, and testimonies about their success.
Yeah, but let me write it up. That's what I should have done in the first place before I started talking. So I'm gonna write up a couple things so that I can do this properly and be able to repeat myself. So do what you do, because I need to focus on trying to get this on paper out of my brain.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson, for that, because I really like that, and I besides it being low hanging fruit for the district, I do think it will have a broader reach in terms of the narrative that we want to create, and shifting the mindsets around who our Black male students are. So I love that statement.
I really do too. Do we want to say aggressive, or is there another word? I'm wordsmithing already, I know, because I like the meaning or the content.
Aggressive sounds good to me.
Okay.
Okay, so everything you guys said made sense because, the ad hoc committee was created because of Dr. Thaddeus Corbin Thaddeus.
Yeah, it's a long thing, so yeah.
Dr. Kasson.
Dr. Cass is fine.
I did that right.
Yeah.
Because of her presentation. And so future ad hoc committees could be created based on whatever comes up in DDEC. I think we had a discussion about that a couple of meetings ago. So creating the statement, we're recording the meeting. So are those recordings sent out to the participants? Are just
They're
us?
added to the agenda item on the board document.
Okay, so
Send it.
the recording is accessible if you missed anything in this meeting. And then once you present the statement to DDEC, DDEC as a whole decides how to carry that statement out. Am I correct about that? Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Are we going to give them?
But wait, can I interject? That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, what are you saying?
The only thing that is different in my head from what I think I heard is I think that our recommendations are part of how it's carried out. Right? Like,
Right.
but DDEC will monitor it. Now we will have to have conversations inside of DDEC about how we think stuff should be monitored. Or maybe that is a follow-up meeting of the ad hoc committee, but it's just because part of the DDEC's follow-up to monitor these implementation of our recommendation.
So
did I hear you correctly? Because I was trying to type, and so yeah, I'm not sure.
So no, I don't think no. So I don't think you correctly. So I'm under the impression, and I could be totally out in left field, that the ad hoc committee is a subsidiary of the DDEC. So when we meet on a topic, then we take the recommendation to DDEC. DDEC even decides whether or not they're going to carry out the recommendation.
Right.
Because then that our responsibility is to do the research here, and give them the recommendation and I guess whatever information that we have, and then DDEC decides first of all whether or not they're going to carry out the recommendation, and using whatever research and notes that we provide with them as a whole, because you got to remember you're still DDEC. Then they carry out those recommendations, the monitoring, the accountability of it, and then give the recommendation to the school district of Palm Beach County.
Okay, so I know I'm getting into the real weeds, but the DDEC is not carrying out much of anything except making recommendations, right? So the and so, but we're gonna be like trust but verify, right? Assuming the DDEC embraces our recommendations as the ad hoc committee's recommendation, then that will go forward as part of the DDEC's recommendations to the school district, to the school board.
Right.
Then we have to decide how we think we follow up on those recommendations. When they nod their head and say, "Oh yeah, that sounds nice," then we have to decide how that should be followed up.
Right. So when I say, and I like I said, I could be totally in left field. When I say the DDEC as a whole decides how the recommendation is carried out. So we have a recommendation statement, which is fully loaded. The statement is fully loaded, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we recommend it to the district and we say what the statement is, we recommend it to the district, do we give them, say, okay, so this is our recommendation and this is how we see it carried out? Or does the district just take that fully loaded statement and carry out the way they want to carry it out? Or does the DDC as a whole say, hey, this recommendation is great. What is this is when I say the DDEC decides how it is to be carried out. Hey, what research did you guys use? How do you think we should carry this out? Do we give them a blueprint, a plan of what we see, how this recommendation is to be carried out? Because giving them, to me, I'm not gonna say it. The recommendation is fully loaded, and I just don't want it to sit on a piece of paper that we recommend this. So do we give them a blueprint of how that is? And with that, the second question is, does the ad hoc committee bring the recommendation to the DDEC, and the DDEC says yes, and then we discuss the blueprint in the ad hoc and give them the blueprint? Or does the DDEC as a whole decide what that blueprint is for the recommendation with the blueprint to give to the school district Palm County? Does any of that make sense? Okay, Kimberly?
I would say we issue a statement that we share with the DEC that has, here is our statement. We recommend that, we implemented X way, and we recommend that there be this type of follow up. And then we work with the DDEC to hopefully adopt that, or have a discussion where we come up with something as a DDEC that is better. But make that part of what our product is for this, is our statement that Dr. Robinson is working on. And then, the statement of this is what we want to do. I have a question regarding, okay, this is all communications related. Do we have the power or would it make sense to try to connect with parts of the district, such as the communications office, to help, say, I guess we don't have the power to do this, but so that we have kind of a plan of, I may not be a PR expert, so I can't say how to make the videos, who's going to make the videos, all of that stuff. Do we need to do the research to find out how that could be implemented within the framework of the district, or is that beyond us? Because I think if we want to see it happen, we should be a little bit more detailed than videos need to be made and a campaign needs to be disseminated. Does that make sense?
What you're saying makes sense, but
is it possible?
I think power is limited with that. So you might be able to say, suggestion, communications department, what's the name of the place that makes the video? No, not IT. 10. You might be able to put that in there, but I think that once you put the blueprint, you can put specifics, but you can't say, this is who you need to use. You understand what I mean?
I do. I just thought the more detail if we say do a media campaign and not specify where or how that's going to get done, then it's less likely to get done. But if we...
No. Can I jump in, please?
Yes, please.
Okay. So can we just, first off, can we say what we want to happen? So I think that we are all contemplating the same issue, right? And so I'm see if I could try to be clearer about how I see it. So first we make the recommendation. So let's stick with the media campaign for conversation. We say she had this media campaign that includes da 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 da. Okay. Let first DDEC and then the school board embrace that, right? Then now, and this is the part, I do think that this is the work of the ad hoc committee, but we would need to almost get authorization to expand our mission, so to speak. But then we come back and say, okay, now how do we think that should be done? Once everybody goes, okay, yeah, we think that's a fine idea. Okay, then we need to, I think, have conversation about what we think that looks like in more specificity. If you give them all of that up front, they're going to pack their stuff and run. Okay, you need to do this step by step, and then we also need to do it in a way that's where the people that we're asking to do this do not feel like we're asking to do 25 million new things. I mean, just saying, it's human nature, right? And then we need to figure out who the who is, right? Like, so who then, if we talk about the media campaign, well, who's the person who's over the media stuff? And then maybe we have a conversation with them after we've had an internal conversation about what does that look like, and we share that with them, and then they go, oh, okay, I see what you mean now. Then they start rolling out. Then we get into the trust but verify mode. I hope that's making sense.
Yes, that makes
Okay.
sense. Thank you, Dr. Robinson.
Thank you. I mean, listen, I'm just, not that 5% of what I've tried to change in the school district has happened, but I just know if you push too hard, they pack and run, right? So, okay, so
that's important to know. That's important to know. It's not just the crafting of the message; it's how to communicate the message in a way that's not that doesn't create that response. So that
right,
what you're sharing is valuable.
right. Thank you. I mean, because it's just like, as a physician, I used to bristle when people would come to me and tell me, their neighbor down the street had the same thing and their doctor gave them this and it worked. So why am I giving them this other thing? Like, and then, I used to bristle, but then after I got more seasoning, I was like, yeah, okay, well, let's talk about that, right? Because, but so what happens is career people will feel like, you ain't never walked in my shoes. How you telling me what to do? And then we just walking up like slamming all this stuff on the table. So we have to be careful, I think. And my challenge always was, how do I push but not too hard? Because I had quite a few instances that I won't describe where I pushed too hard. And it was like the whole system held hands and circled me and shot me. Okay, so so the message was completely lost. Okay, so let me give you the first rework statement. So I said, so the first one, the overarching one, was recommended the school district of Palm Beach County works with intentionality to ensure that successful Black male students have a sense of belonging, feel connected, develop trust, and have engaging content. So that's the first one. I'm gonna just read them all, and then you can wordsmith, do whatever you want. I'm just hoping we come up with some landing points today. Okay, the second one is recommended the Palm Beach County School District launch and maintain a media campaign with a target audience, including, I'm going wordsmith it is. Including students, school district staff, and community. That media campaign shall include the success stories of successful Black male students, what successful Black male students want their teachers and others to know, and what inclusive classrooms look like to successful Black male students. Then I have recommended the school district creates a database of student and parent support programs that are responsive and supportive of successful Black male students. Recommended the school district intentionally create time and space. Okay, this needs to be wordsmith, that creates and enhances a sense of belonging and connectedness for successful Black male students, including leadership groups, successful Black male students mentoring younger successful Black male students, and adult successful Black males mentoring successful Black male students. That's as far as I've gotten. So do whatever you want with that.
I think those are spot on, Dr. Robertson. Thank you.
Yes.
Good.
Agreed.
All right. I'm gonna keep working on the other categories, and then maybe I can put it on the screen so we can vote on it or something. But let me try to get this other mess out of my head and on paper.
Yeah, that'd be great. Putting it on screen.
Okay.
Go back to the meeting screen. There you go.
Sorry.
So I have a question since there's silence. Dr. Thaddeus Corbin, there was part of the presentation where you talked about a playlist giving students control of the learning place and activities so that they don't get bored. Can you just speak up to that a little bit more? Because I wasn't sure if I was understanding.
I have to go back in my brain, but if I mentioned
I'm so
that.
glad it's not just me.
But what I may have been, I'm sorry, excuse me one second. What I may have been referencing are strategies that support Black male students, and actually all students, but blended learning strategies. I may have been referencing that, and one of those strategies is a playlist. It's a blended learning model, and it's called a playlist. And so what that does is that it creates agency for students. So students are actually guiding their own learning. It's almost like the teacher is turning over their lesson plan to the students. And so students will, the playlist actually guides students through the work, and it gives them, we call them like stop signs of when to like check in with the teacher, or or they do some group work or some peer work. I have examples of those I can certainly share, but that's what those are. It's an opportunity to create agency for students.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Is it appropriate for us to add timelines to any of our recommendations?
I don't think we do that yet.
Okay.
I think I think the answer is yes, but just when we do that, I think is when we start defining what does that really look like, right?
Okay.
And then how fast can that be rolled out? Because again, we don't want to scare them off,
Right. Yeah.
So is there a way, let me see, can I figure out how to share the screen so you guys can start talking about any changes you want to make to the initial statements while I'm trying to craft the last ones or the next ones?
You use the little thing at the bottom of your screen, Dr. Robinson.
Oh, it's open. Okay, see the little thing. Okay. I know you don't realize I'm a techie. Okay. Can you guys see it?
I'm answering you.
Can you see the document?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back down to the bottom and try to organize my brain, try to come up with a statement about the professional development. Kimberly, if you can just see how you want to change lead the discussion on changing any of what I've already drafted, then we won't be sitting in silence.
Okay. I would say the DDEC ad hoc subcommittee recommends that the Palm Beach County School District works with intentionality to ensure that successful Black male students have a sense of belonging, feel connected, develop trust, and have engaging content. Do we want to say develop trust in the educational system, or like expand upon that at all, or leave it as is?
So I tell you what, Janina, are you online?
Like online, or
I
on?
want to share the document with somebody who can edit the statements that they're working on while I'm working on the bottom. So who do I share it with?
You can Google. It's the Google Doc, right?
Oh, it is.
You can share it with me, but I don't. Let me see if I can get to it. Share it with me.
Okay.
Can you dismiss that piece on the right? I think it'll make it a little bigger.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
You got it, Janina?
I have it. I just gotta sign in. Even though I'm signed into my email, it's making me sign into Google Docs. I don't know why. Okay, so what do you want me to do now?
Well, Kimberly was leading the discussion on editing the initial statements that I drafted. So I just thought maybe while it's on the screen and they're talking, that you could edit it based on what they're saying.
Oh, okay. Okay, Kimberly.
Okay. So you're able to type whatever. I would say the ad hoc subcommittee of the DDEC recommends.
On all of them or just?
Or we could put at the very top, and then put a colon
Okay.
and have bullet points. I would put that into a bullet point or each of the recommendations.
Right, I'm gonna put a bullet point for all of them. I'm just working
Okay.
on my iPad.
That's
So,
fine. I'm
yeah,
sitting here silently and I didn't know what to do. So
it's not a, it's not, doing what I needed to do. So I'm going to do that.
What are we doing?
we're formatting and working on language, but first kind of formatting how we're going to do this.
Well, can we get the words straight? I mean, like, the formatting and stuff. I think, I think we can trust Ms. Simmons to do that.
Okay. Works with intentionality to ensure that successful Black male students have a sense of belonging, feel connected, develop trust, and have engaging content. My only question with that paragraph is develop trust. Do we want to specify what we mean by that? If I were not knowing much of anything, I would have a question as to trust in what or in whom.
Mm-hmm.
Kimberly, I have a different question, and that is, I'm wondering when we say work with intentionality, after that, I think what's missing for me is to create environments that,
Okay.
and then the rest of it, right?
Good. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. To create environments that. And then get rid of the that after ensure.
To create environments that ensure. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Sense of belonging, feel connected.
Dr. Cass, can you respond to the question about the trust, develop trust?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if in this sentence it is, it's actually, what I don't want it to feel like is that the students are having to create these things, right? I want it to be clear that the district, we're creating environments within the district, and the environments and that support trusting relationships.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to get to. However you want to word that.
Feel connected. Let me look.
Encouraging trusting relationships. Encouraging trusting relationships.
A sense of environments that ensure feel they can trust the system.
No, hell,
No.
excuse me. No.
Instead of have, how about build trusting relationships?
Build trusting relationships.
Okay, so then, but build trusted relationships to me sounds like it might be the student's responsibility.
Yeah.
I like to have trusted relationships. And then as part of the follow-up, we could talk about, well, how does that happen?
Yeah.
Environments that ensure they have trusting relationships. Okay.
Well, where's a successful Black male on the call? We need him to weigh in. Where are you?
Yeah.
Marcus, you there?
I'm sorry, what was the question? I was in another conversation.
don't leave us to our own devices. You gotta wait.
No, no, never that, never that. What was the question? I'm sorry.
About the first statement, the school that we recommend the school district works with intentionality to create environments that ensure successful Black male students have a sense of belonging, feel connected, have trusted relationships, and have engaging content.
Yes, I like it as is. I would not add anything.
The one thing that I would, the last
Mhm.
little challenge for me is this engaging content.
Mhm.
And I think it should, I think something around, it has to be meaningful and relevant. That's because there's got to be some intentionality around that too. So I
Okay,
think meaningful or
Well,
relevant or,
if you
having
look at,
engaging content that is meaningful and relevant.
I'm
well,
sorry,
if you
Marcus.
look at no, it's fine. You could, you could actually make sub bullets, and the sub bullet would actually be the next sentence. The first sub bullet would be, or you could say engaging content that has a relevant and whatever, however you want to finish that sentence, and then you could put specifically. The next sentence will be specifically colon, and then the very next statement is an explanation of how specific, how the statement will be accomplished. In other words, let's see. I'll just read it out.
I think that's great. That's great.
SMBS have a sense of belonging. I'm sorry. Black male students have a sense of belonging, feel connected, have trusting relationships that have engaging content that is meaningful, relevant, and rigorous. Specifically, comma, next statement. The SDPVC launch and maintain, or specifically a media campaign
Oh,
with
I
a
see what you're
target
saying.
audience. Yeah. Say specifically
Okay.
a media campaign. Yes.
That's what you're saying?
And then, yes. Yes.
Okay, so let's go to that paragraph because we got 10 minutes. Because it's my hope that whatever we craft today and agree to could be presented to. Wait, we have an ad hoc committee meeting before the next DDEC, is that right?
In that morning, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so specifically, the school district launch and maintain a media campaign with a target audience, including students, school district staff, and community. That media campaign shall include the success stories of successful Black male students, what successful Black male students want their teachers and others to know, and what inclusive classrooms look like to successful Black male students. So take it from there.
I'm not gonna be leadership for us.
Okay, I think that looks. The media shall include the success stories and what their teachers and others, what they want their teachers and others to know, and what inclusive classrooms look like.
You feel like I have leadership for us. The last one, this Thursday. I'm running Tuesday night. No, Tuesday to Friday. Thursday, Wednesday. Wednesday.
Just a question for you all. Do we want inclusive classrooms and schools? I mean, do we want there to be inclusive things outside of the classroom? Is that important?
Yes, that's just as important because it's the culture of it's the environment
Yes, so I would like
that the
to add,
young men are being educated in. So yes, that's a part of the environment.
okay.
Keep like this, but kids.
So what do you want it to say?
Maybe inclusive schools? What do you all think?
I guess I'm trying to, inclusive classrooms.
Should say school environment, maybe not schools, maybe school environment.
Right. Hello?
Sorry, I didn't mean. Can you hear me? Sorry, I didn't.
No. My cat just stepped on me. So I wanted to make sure I didn't get disconnected. Sorry. Okay. Yeah,
Okay, so we good with that one?
I think so.
Yes.
Would we say,
Dr.
I'm sorry,
Cass?
I'm coming back, launch and disseminate a media campaign, or maintain meaning continue it?
It means to continue it. A
Okay,
media campaign is disseminated. That's what the campaign is.
okay,
But then I tried to include the who they make sure receives it.
right. No, that's good. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, Dr. Cash, you're good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that, and I'm just gonna throw this out. We don't have to change it right now, but we can think about it. In the media
Okay.
campaign, that second sentence that says the media campaign shall include, I would love if there was a way for it to, the Black male students could be a part of the creation. Don't know if that's
But that's the
possible. I
how.
might be thinking really big, but
But that's part of the how, Dr. Cass.
oh, okay. So we're not there yet.
Not to me.
Okay, all right.
That's the
That's
way
good.
I.
You got-
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm
I'll
just
Yeah,
do it.
saying,
what we're talking
they're
about is
on
what.
sticky notes, so when we get to the how, it's not forgotten. You know.
Okay, all right, okay, thank you for keeping me in line here.
Listen, that's me. That doesn't mean that that's the right way or the best way.
Could we add
No,
a
No, I
sentence
agree with
no.
that.
later on?
We need to. Well, we can. I think we want to talk about the what, and I agree that the how will certainly include the males, the black students, the black male students. But the what is what we want to focus on, which is what this statement says.
Hey, Kimberly, you were saying something?
I was wondering if we wanted to put it in a sentence towards the end that involving the successful Black male students in the different prongs of this endeavor. But
No, that's the how.
right. I'm saying, well, you asked me what I was going to say, so that's it. And
Okay.
then
But it shouldn't be forgotten. I'm just saying, even though I don't think it fits now,
right.
after, it goes through its steps of approval, so to speak, when we start talking about, okay, how do we make this real? Then that's when, like, if we sit down with the whoever the information people are nowadays and say, okay, this is what it looks like to us, then that's when we impart those bullets, I think.
Okay.
The next one looks good to me. And I really like that database.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anything else on that one?
Do we want to say within the school district and outside in the community, or is that already implied?
It's implied for me, but I don't think it's harmful to state it.
Especially when this statement will hold the district to its diversity, equity, and inclusion statement.
Okay.
Does that do it?
Yeah, I just don't like to leave any ambiguity where somebody trying to minimize the program you know, if we don't state everything we want to do, or you know what I mean?
Agreed.
Okay.
Good suggestion. I think that does it. I
Okay.
think what was written, what's been written, captures what we need to capture.
Okay.
Okay, and then the school district intentionally create time and space. Y'all need to like come up with some alternative words for me, but
Yeah, I was gonna
intentionally creates time and space that creates and enhances the sense of belonging and connectedness for successful Black male students, including leadership groups, the mentoring younger successful Black male students, and adult successful Black males mentoring successful Black male students.
Instead of time and space, you can make that environment.
Okay.
Did you mean and environment, or time and space is the, or like create an environment that?
Create the environment. Create the SDPBC intentionally create the environments.
Okay, that's what I thought.
The environments that create that enhance the sense of belonging.
But I think Dr. Robinson's point of this, I feel like that time, there's some, I think the part of the point was that there has to be the time created and given to it, because when you go down and you're talking about mentoring and the leadership programs, things like that, they have to create the space and the time. Like they've got to commit to giving space and time for those things. I think that's what the point is there.
What about reserve time and space to create environments?
That might work. Yeah.
Okay, you want me to change it? Because I wrote create environments with time and space. But
The
tell me
other
how
way,
you wanted it again.
Kimberly, say that again.
The SDPBC intentionally reserve time and space to create environments. So and then get rid of create at the fourth word of the sentence. Yeah. Okay, then we have to get rid of that enhance, get rid of create the third time, to create environments that enhance.
I need a new word for create, because it's not just enhance.
Okay,
you need to make sure it's there.
About provide.
No, develop. I need a word that implies starting from zero.
Develop. They develop or
Well, we're going to share this out after this meeting anyway, so we can all just sit and think of our own words.
Generate.
And then,
Okay, so it's
Generate.
so we have to. Do we have to
Wrap it up until the next meeting.
Try the word generate.
generate?
Yeah, generate.
That sounds mechanical.
we have to do
Okay.
rules of order?
To me, I don't know. So this is so I'm just putting, this is where we ended the discussion. Since I've got my head in this space, I'm a finish trying to work out the other ones with
Okay.
PD, business, and the life skills thing. I'm not addressing the parking lot. And then then I'll send it to Susan and she can share it, and then hopefully we could create, each of us could create the time and space to think about it before the next meeting. I certainly hope I do. Okay.
Do we need
Does that work?
Makes sense.
Do we need a motion to carry on?
No, we're getting ready to end the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
If you save it right now and send out the document in chat, I will work on it right now when we get off.
Okay.
When I'm in the mindset and not trying to remember, what did they say yesterday?
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I got to work on it right now, because I got my brain in this space.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And so, okay, so with the whole sunshine thing,
we're 10:04 now. 10:03.
that's what I'm talking about. I know we all got to go. With the sunshine thing, don't write on this document. So print it, Kimberly. Right. We shouldn't have any communications that are not visible, right? So I'll share it with Susan.
She can make a copy of the document. You can make your own copy, Kimberly. So you don't have to write it. And then go from editing, go to suggestions, so that you can put in, you can edit the document, and then it'll show what's already there, but it'll also put whatever you're in. So it's like a editing document, so it'll cross out what you delete.
I don't know that we're allowed to do that with sunshine, but
what she's saying, Kimberly, listen, just
make a copy, go to file, make
a
copy,
see.
And then you have your own copy to play with. Anybody on there, go to file, make a copy, then you have your own. And so when you come back, you can say, okay, so I looked at this, and this is what, and share that document when we come back from next Thursday.
Okay, it said I need permission.
Okay, I send you the permission. Move to adjourn. Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
You seconded, Kimberly?
I said second, yes.
Yeah. All right, you guys, I won't be here next Thursday, but Keith will.
Okay. Thank you.
You guys have a good day.
Thank you all.
Okay, Dr.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
You're presenting next week.
Yes, we are prepared. I sent Susan the PDF, and I can also send. I wasn't sure if I need to send the presentation deck. I'm not sure. Just tell me what to do.
You need to send the presentation deck.
You may be able to pull it up yourself, but send it and maybe we'll pull it up.
Send the presentation. I don't know. It goes smoother sometimes when you send it, and then we give it to Jonathan, and then he uploads it.
Our IT.
Okay.
Okay.
So I should send it to Susan, the deck?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Susan, did you get the PDF though? Did it come through?
When did you send it?
Yeah.
The other day, yes.
The other day, yeah.
I probably have it. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm yawning.
No, it's fine.
I'm still on this time.
I have the emails. I'm trying to find the attachment. I'm not seeing that.
Because I thought it was actually today.
I know. I thought I got your email. I said, oh, that's why I try not to send the reminders too early so they don't overlap and get confusing. So send it again.
Yeah, resend it.
Okay, no problem. All right, I'll get those over to you all.
We can make sure I have everything.
Okay, you guys have a blessed and fabulous day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
You too. Bye.